Hello and welcome to today's episode. We're diving into the fascinating world of deemed conveyance. Joining us is legal expert Miss Patel. Could you give us a quick overview of what deemed conveyance involves?
Sure. Deemed conveyance is essentially a legal process that empowers property owners to secure the ownership transfer when developers fail to do so. It gives owners the legal backing to claim their rights.
That sounds crucial. It's like a safety net for property owners. How does this compare to traditional conveyance methods?
Traditional conveyance relies on the builder's willingness to transfer the deed. With deemed conveyance, owners take initiative. It turns dependency into empowerment, especially when builders are unresponsive.
Is there a factual basis for how often developers fail to transfer deeds on time?
Yes, according to a 2022 survey, about 30% of property owners face delays or refusals from builders. This can stall owners' plans significantly.
Wow, 30% is quite significant. Could you share a real-world example of deemed conveyance making a difference?
In Mumbai, a cooperative used deemed conveyance to take control after a builder went bankrupt. They managed the property and achieved better maintenance solutions themselves.
That's empowering, but what criticisms or counter-arguments exist regarding this process?
Some argue it's cumbersome, requiring legal battles that not all owners are prepared for. However, many find it necessary to secure their property rights.
Moving on, Miss Patel, why is deemed conveyance becoming more and more necessary for property owners these days?
Great question. Often builders delay deeds, leaving owners powerless over common areas. It's essential for full community management and maintenance.
Absolutely. Without ownership, selling or obtaining mortgages becomes quite a hassle. Have there been notable instances highlighting these issues?
Yes, a case in Pune had owners struggling to sell due to no deed, impacting property value drastically. An ownership delay like this essentially freezes your property transactions.
And are there any counter-arguments suggesting it's not always necessary?
Some say developers will eventually comply, particularly in markets with heavy competition. But waiting can be risky and sometimes futile.
So, it's a bit of a gamble. How about the future? How might legal environments evolve to support property owners?
We're likely to see more streamlined processes and perhaps government support in enforcing timely conveyances, perhaps even faster dispute resolution methods.
That would be a big step forward. How about current legislative developments?
Several state governments in India are looking into more robust consumer protection laws for real estate, which would surely bolster the confidence of homeowners.
That's encouraging. It's interesting to see how policy might shape this field in the coming years. Let's unpack the benefits for a moment. What makes deemed conveyance particularly beneficial?
Firstly, it grants complete control over property management. You can freely make decisions about common areas, ensuring they are maintained to owner standards.
That's critical indeed. Can these benefits impact the property market as a whole?
Absolutely. Legal ownership boosts marketability. Owners can sell or mortgage properties easily, enhancing liquidity in the real estate market.
And are there studies backing this up?
A 2023 study from the National Housing Bank reported a 20% increase in market value for properties with successful deemed conveyances.
That's substantive. But do critics argue these benefits could be overrated or exaggerated in any way?
Some say hassles during legal proceedings can overshadow the benefits. Yet, navigating these hurdles often saves more headaches in the long run.
That makes sense. As we gaze forward, how can deemed conveyance be optimized for future property owners?
Future optimization might involve digital interfaces to ease paperwork and speed up petition processes, ultimately simplifying owner experiences.
Digital solutions could revolutionize this process. The property sector is truly on the brink of monumental change. Shifting gears, let's walk through the steps involved in the deemed conveyance process. How does one actually get started?
The first and fundamental step involves forming a cooperative housing society. This collective is crucial to taking legal action.
Like they say, there's strength in numbers. What comes next after forming this society?
Indeed, then the society must serve a formal notice to the builder. It's a straightforward demand for the deed, initiating the legal process.
And if the builder ignores this request, what's the next course of action?
Filing a petition with the relevant authority is the subsequent step. In Maharashtra, for instance, this would be under MOFA 1963. It pushes the request into a legal domain.
Is this a tiresome process or relatively quick?
It can be quite time-consuming. Some cases take up to 2 years, though there is hope for more streamlined methods in the near future.
Certainly sounds elaborate. What if critics suggest alternative methods to resolve such disputes?
Some propose mediation or arbitration as faster alternatives, but these often lack the binding resolution a court order provides.
I see. How do you envision the process evolving over the next decade?
Technology will likely lead to online filings and virtual hearings, reducing the burden of in-person attendances and associated delays.
In discussing these processes, we should also touch on counter-arguments. What's the current discourse against deemed conveyance?
Some argue that it places undue stress on already financially drained homeowners. Legal costs and the time involved can really add up.
A valid concern indeed. Legal battles can be daunting. Is there any anecdotal evidence illustrating these challenges?
A case in Thane saw owners diverting personal funds meant for renovations to cover legal fees. It drew criticism towards such procedural liabilities.
Such stories can definitely put off others. Do critics offer any statistical backing for their claims?
A Real Estate Institute report found 62% of property owners felt financially burdened by prolonged legal encounters.
Substantial indeed. Are there defensible rebuttals one might offer against these critiques?
Proponents argue the eventual ownership and control outweigh temporary hardships, presenting a long-term cost-benefit scenario that favors proceeding.
Looking ahead, how might future regulatory visions address these hardships?
Hopefully, streamlined court processes and fixed fee structures could lessen burdens. Legislative pushes for builder compliance could also hugely help.
It will be intriguing to watch these changes unfold. The evolving legal landscape is something we'll be keeping an eye on. Lastly, let's look towards the horizon. What does the future hold for deemed conveyance and property rights, Ms. Patel?
The rise of more robust legal frameworks and digital integration promises bright prospects. Property ownership might become a seamless process in coming years.
Interesting. Could we see technology driving these changes forward?
Without a doubt, AI and blockchain could revolutionize record-keeping and authenticity verification, reducing disputes and expediting processes.
Incredible! Any forecasts for the socio-economic impact of such advancements?
Easy access to property rights can spur economic growth by promoting investment and enabling owners to leverage properties effectively.
Sounds revolutionary. But could technology also introduce challenges to this transition?
Some argue over-reliance on technology could lead to new types of fraud or privacy issues. Balancing innovation and safeguards will be key.
Indeed, finding that balance is crucial. What proactive measures can be taken to mitigate such risks?
Legal frameworks need regular updating to factor in tech changes, with a keen focus on cybersecurity and ethical use of data.
Absolutely. As we wrap up, it's evident this is an exciting time for property law. Any final thoughts for our listeners?
Stay informed and proactive about your rights. The tools for empowerment are evolving, and being aware can make all the difference.
All right, that's all for this episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Bye bye.